we're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're just about to head off. There's Siri going on. We're just about to head off on 3 months. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? No. So a little bit of mixed emotions here. So we're doing it and we're going. So we'll check out, head down to Whyalla and probably try and get down to Mildura today. So we'll see how far we go. It's been late nights for us to get this thing ready, hasn't it?
Yep, and we're as ready as we're ever going to be. Okay. I don't know if we've forgotten anything. We will figure that out on the way.
So off we go and we will show you some adventures. We didn't quite make it to Mildura. It was a bit of a longer drive and that late start. We just couldn't get there in the end, but we did manage to cover how many Ks?
About 808, 810 Ks.
And we stopped at Balranald. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's how we pronounce it.
Okay, so just basically pulled up to a RV stop there at Balranald. It's right next to the pool. I can't remember the name of the pool, but actually the pool is open and you can go there and have a swim as well, but it's just been too cold, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's toilets there, there's a park, there's a playground, so we actually pulled in there pretty late, and it's got like these big tall silos or something, is that what you want to call them? But yeah, it's just a quick stop from there. So after that we then travelled to, where did we go?
Went across the border.
Yeah.
Into South Australia, well, 2 borders. Into Mildura and then across to South Australia.
So we got was it our quarantine station, was it? Yeah.
Well, first we drove for about 80 Ks with the aerial up before we got flagged down.
Yeah. So it's actually been twice now we've been people yelling and screaming at us.
Flagging us down, and we're like, what's going on?
The first time was pouring down rain and this guy was yelling at us and basically pulled over, and we found out our Anderson plug had pulled out. So that was the first one, and then the second one, another person drove by and was pointing up to the sky. So
this one.
So that was the aerial.
We left the aerial up.
Thankfully everything's still okay, but
we're still learning.
Still getting used to this traveling in a van type thing. So a bit of novice to that. So now we're starting to try and go through all this checklist just to make sure. So
yeah.
But anyway, then we went through the checkpoint at in South Australia, but this time we didn't actually get caught out because we knew what we couldn't and we couldn't bring.
Yeah, so she was very thorough. She went through the car and then the back of the car with the fridge on the back, and then into the van and opened all the cupboards, checked under the kids' doonas. It was quite interesting. She gave the kids a quarantine book to read through, so the kids understood why we were stopped and what she was looking for. They gave us a lesson in that, didn't they?
Yeah, so it's pretty good. So what did you think of the book?
I found it again.
Yeah, I know, they can say it. So yeah, the book was pretty cool. So the kids got to learn all about fruit flies and how they develop and what they can do. Yeah.
Then we stopped in Renmark because we didn't have any fresh fruit and veg. We were all prepared this time. I had to stop and get something, so we stopped in Renmark for a bit of a break. Yeah,
get that fruit and veg, had some lunch and whatever. So what can you bring across the border?
Leafy greens are okay, onions, things like that. It's more fresh fruit that's seeding, so things like tomatoes, cucumbers, avocados, chilies, fresh chilies, you can't bring those across. Anything that fruits and flowers basically. If it's processed, frozen, it's okay. But it's just jump on the South Australian website. There's links to it all, what state you're coming from, what you can and can't bring. So it was pretty clear once I read through that, and I just avoided everything. Just made sure the grapes were gone, the cherry tomatoes were gone. We just ate it all the night before.
Yeah.
And came across just with some lettuce and some onions, I think.
Yeah, because we've been burnt in the past before crossing that South Australian border and
throwing all the fruit away.
Yeah, it really hurts when you're throwing away all that food. So after that we then travelled up to Port Augusta.
Yeah, we did. We travelled through the riverlands, all through the fruit and veggie growing regions, saw all the grapevines.
Yeah.
And then headed sort of, I don't know, what would you call it, northwest, up the coastline, around Port Pirie.
Yeah. And along there we saw a lot of it's like a hybrid solar farm. I don't know if that's what you call it. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see, wasn't it? So you see them in the distance. So I guess we're playing a bit of a game there, trying to count how many wind turbines you could count.
How many did we settle on? 50. So 50 turbines?
If you're going out that way, count them and see if you get 50, because that's what we got, and we counted it about, I don't know how many times. So yeah, so
it was very windy through there though as well, which tested us. Yeah,
and the weather hasn't been great. We've been driving through a lot of rain lately, and driving into this headwind. It's killing the fuel consumption. But it's just throwing the van around, and it just feels like you're driving into a brick wall. So, but yeah, through that we then ended up staying at a rest stop just after Port Augusta.
But yeah, between Port Augusta and Whyalla.
Yeah, so pulled up there for the night. Once again, got in there fairly late. I don't know, did we cover how many Ks we did that day?
I think the second day was about 740 odd kilometres the second day.
So trying not to do as many big days, but just we fell short and we needed to make up time. So
we had done that part before though, so we have been through there, so we didn't miss a lot. It's all the new stuff that we want to get to now.
Yeah, and then Easter Sunday. So what did we have Easter? What'd you do? In the caravan. So
Easter Bunny found us.
Yeah, it did find us on the side of the road just outside of Port Augusta. Can you believe it? So anyway, eggs got put out. Kids did a bit of a Easter egg hunt. Yeah, so they went around the van and searched for all the Easter eggs and got their little bags of goodies, as they do. So it's a little tradition. What do they get?
It's some winter pajamas and some eggs.
Yeah, so eggs have actually come in a bit of handy through the trip, because the kids have just been munching on Easter eggs throughout the throughout the journey. So once again, another rainy day, and we headed into Whyalla. That's a unique jetty, eh? Like I don't know, I've never seen a jetty like that before. It's just round and circular, and you walk around it.
And you can fish from both sides around this ring in the middle.
It's pretty cool, pretty unique, and seems like there's a lot of squid being caught there, because there's just ink
all over the ground.
So yeah, before we did that, we checked out the jetty, and then we went and
what did we see in the water?
Dolphins.
We did. Yeah, we saw dolphins in the harbour. It was amazing. I think it was a pod of about four dolphins.
They just showed out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. It was amazing.
Yeah. So we're just basically killing a bit of time there until church. I went to church at Life Unlimited Church in Whyalla. So we went there for Easter Sunday, and then after that we headed down to
Port Lincoln.
So I don't know how far that drive was. Was it?
I think that was about 300. Just over 300 Ks I think that day.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of free camps in Port Lincoln, but managed to find something that was low cost, and that was at Billy
Light's boat ramp.
Billy Light's boat ramp. Pretty cool, eh? Like it was $12. I think there's a bit of a booking fee there as well. But it's just, yeah, it's right on the boat ramp. You got the water. There's like the toilets and there's a barbecue.
Electric barbecue picnic area, just right on the harbour there. You do need to be self-contained, like completely self-contained. There's no power. I think there is water down at the boat ramp where they were cleaning the fish cleaning station down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, really well set up, run by the council. It's probably enough space for, I'd say, 10 RVs.
Yeah. And you've got to park within the blue lines there. So there's actually that one and then another boat ramp
on the other side of town.
Axle something. But apparently this Billy Lights one is a lot better.
It's more protected from the wind.
Yeah.
It's less exposed and it's bigger.
It is about 10 minutes out of town, so if you need to jump backwards and forwards, there's a bit of a 10-minute drive if you need to go and grab some stuff. But
there is a dump point too on that end of town.
Yeah, but apart from that, it's a great low-cost campground there. Yeah. And then what else did we check out in Port Lincoln?
So the next day we decided to do a bit of sightseeing down on Whyalla's Way.
So Whylla's Way, so it's kind of an interesting spot down there. When we first drove in there, our car got its first taste of four-wheel driving. It's never seen dirt before, but finally saw some dirt, and just at Fishery Bay.
There's a campground there as part of the Lincoln National Park. It was unavailable for us to stay there anyway, but we wanted to check it out. So I think that's about $13 a night, but there was a little ridge with some sand.
It said four-wheel drive access, so managed to get the car and get its feet a bit dirty in the sand. So we got to test out some new little buttons and features on the car that I've been hanging to try out, but not game to try. So yeah, managed to stick it in sand mode and just go for a little drive on the beach. Not too far because it's salt water, and I still don't agree with salt and water in cars. So it was a good little test there. But then we continued on to Whylla's Way, but we didn't realise that you actually needed to pay money to actually get into there. There's a lock gate at the Whylla's Way hut.
Yeah, so it's private property. We didn't realise it. We thought it was part of the national park, but no, it's private property, so you do need to pay. It's $40 per vehicle plus a booking fee if you do it online. You can go to the Visitor Information Centre and pay cash, but yeah, we of course didn't realise that at the time. So
yeah, so when you get there actually is a little QR code, and you do get phone reception there, so you can actually jump onto the Port Lincoln website or something and purchase the day pass online, and actually send you a little code to a lockbox which is sitting behind the pole, which has a key in it for you to unlock the gate to then drive in.
Should mention too that if you get one night free camping there as well as part of the pass. We didn't realise that either. There is a small little camping area in there that you can camp for one night as well.
So the road into actual Whyallas Way, it's quite well graded. It is a dirt road, but it is very well graded through there. But once you hit Whyallas Way, the road does, it's still okay. You don't really need a four-wheel drive, but it does get a little bit more bumpy.
It does, yeah.
Through Whyallas Way. Our plan was when we got there, there was quite a few cars already there, so our plan was, the attack was basically to head
Go to the back.
right to the end of the track and then slowly make our ways back. So we ended up at
I think it's called Red Banks is the furthest point through there.
yeah, once again it's a little bit of sand driving through there. It's a bit rocky, the track. It's probably the roughest part of the track, I'd say, going down to Red Bank. When you get there, there's not really a lot there, and we did a bit of walking around and actually found around the heads you could actually
Off this hit connect.
there we go, got the phone call coming through. But if you just go around the back there's actually a little, it's like a little beach, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's different. There's cliffs on one side and then it looks like rocks down the other side, and then this little secluded beach. And then one of the kids spotted this ladder, said, yeah, you can get down there. We went, no, you can't.
Looks like a little rickety ladder that's been there 100 years, but
Very sketchy. We sent Dad down first.
yeah, it looks sketchy, but it's actually quite solid.
Yeah.
And then you kind of need to be a bit of a mountain goat to scroll down to the beach. But once you were down there, it was yeah, like your own little private beach amongst the cliffs there.
On a nice day, it would have been beautiful to stay there. We copped wind and rain that day as well. But yeah, it would have been a beautiful little spot to pull up and have a swim and play on the rock pools and things like that.
Yeah, so I guess when we got there, we were kind of like going, oh, is this it? Like, we spent $40 to drive on a dirt road, effectively. But as we were heading back, we started pulling into the other attractions or spots. Yeah.
I think it's called Cape. I'm just going to look it up here. Cape Carnot.
Was there another one before that?
So Cape Carnot, the turn off there was actually like a three-ways. So we went up to one first, and it's called the Thick Stone Crevice.
Thick Stone Crevice. There you go.
Crevice.
I've got no idea what it was, but it was actually it was really cool. Like, it was just like this crevice cut out.
But you drive up, and again, you think that there's nothing there, just this rickety old fence.
Yeah, but then when you get there, you get to see this crevice. Like, it was really cool, eh, kids? Yeah, it was just
It was split in half with the water in the middle.
I'm scared of heights, so if you're scared of heights, don't really go.
yeah, so you got a rickety fence, but when you actually go there, like, there's tracks and stuff to go down and have a look at it. But yeah, quite an amazing
It's just a straight drop
formation
down. Yeah.
to just, like, someone's literally just split the earth in half and water's gone through it. So
like what do you call it? Like a knife straight through it. So sharp and straight. So
that was really cool. And then what was there, some caves or something a bit further up?
around the corner, one of the second, I don't know what you call it, tri-ways, there was like a, I don't know what you call it, kind of like a blowhole. You could see the waves coming over these rocks and then forcing themselves into this tunnel. Yeah, just telling you don't go any further because people have drowned there. But yeah, you could see the force of the waves coming into this blowhole. And then on the other side was called the Right Whale Crevice, which is another cut out of rocks. Different again because this one had like the blue-green water going through it, whereas the first one was dark, quite ominous. This one was a bit brighter with the water going through. And then on the other side of that was the caves and rock pools.
Yeah, so there's more an overhang, they called it. So they said it was about 800 meters down to the rock pools and the cave. So it's not really a clear, defined track to get down there.
Oh, we found an arrow on the way back. A bright yellow arrow, which we didn't see on the way down.
Yeah, but it was, yeah, if you got little kids and that, it is a bit tricky trying to get down there and maneuver your way down there. A bit loose and quite jagged rocks to get down there, but once you get down there, it's quite pretty to see these different rock formations again. And then there's like these caves and stuff underneath there, so the kids got to explore under the caves and
Banged my head once for accident.
there we go, banged the head. And then
salt deposits in there.
Yeah, it's just really cool to kind of see the water. You still kind of feel a bit on edge because you just know water can come up and over there. But yeah, overall it felt pretty good to just go there and explore the different rock pools, and it really just feels like you're on another planet, doesn't it? Like it's a totally different world. It's just really feels raw and untouched.
Yeah, it's very man versus wild. Like this, major in-turn battery back. It was just,
Yeah.
amazing.
And then as you continue your way back, there's what more little lookouts.
Yeah,
and
there's
things.
a sinkhole. Where some of the water has flown down. There's a couple of trick points. There's lots of little bushwalks and off all the cliffs. We got a little bit view fatigued through there. It is very, very beautiful. They all sort of melded together, making our way back to, I think the last main one we stopped at was Cape Whyalls, and it said Fur Seals Walk or something. So we weren't sure whether that was the name of the place or whether we were expected to see fur seals. We didn't see any.
If you know, let us know in the comment section, or let others know that actually there are fur seals there at right times, or if it's just because that's what they decided to call it. So,
but that's very beautiful as well. Different again, to more like the 12 Apostles sort of Great Ocean Road type situation. This one was. It had sort of eroded.
Yeah, just
around the
really
bottoms
cool.
of the rocks. So it's different again.
Rock features.
Different coloured water again.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then basically there's little bits of more pieces on the way out you can stop by and have a look at. But yeah, that was kind of it. We probably spent maybe about 4 hours there, 4.5 hours there.
Yeah.
Just trying to look at everything that we could.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're there, it's worthwhile to go down and check it out. But yeah,
There was probably, adding it up, probably 6 or 7 cars there the whole day that we were, the whole 4 or 5 hours that we were there. So there's a lot, there's room to pass, room to park. Take your time through there. It is very beautiful.
Yeah. And then after that, we kind of came back and had some lunch or whatever, and then went out to the...
Oh, don't forget the emus. We did see some wildlife.
Oh, that's right. We nearly ran over it. There was a car just stopped. We couldn't figure out why the car was stopped, but it's actually because there was a mum and a couple of emus.
And baby emus.
Walking across the road. So
one emu in the middle of the road.
yeah. And then basically head back to camp for a quick bite, and then headed out to the
Port Lincoln foreshore, just to have a bit of a look around there in town.
Yeah. So it's basically a jetty that just goes out into the ocean. There's a bit of a swimming pool and
like
stuff.
an enclosure there.
Through there as well. So once again, it was too cold to swim or anything. It was really windy. But yeah, quite pretty through there.
We also saw some crabs there.
Yeah, there was a lady doing some crabbing. She caught a blue swimmer crab while we were there.
So yeah,
Fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating to see people just throwing a pot over or a net over and just catching crabs. So
lots of baby crabs.
Yeah, lots of baby crabs. Not the good crabs that they wanted to eat, but anyway. So that's kind of Port Lincoln.
The sun finally did show its head. The last afternoon we were there, it was nice to see some sun. The water, it's just a different view. Different weather does different things to the scenery. So
yeah,
did get a little bit of sun in the afternoon.
Fortunately, we didn't have time to go out to the national park. But yeah, maybe that's for another day.
Another time.
Maybe we'll camp in a national park next time. So basically, yeah, I'm not sure what else are we doing else in Port Lincoln.
That's about it really in Port Lincoln.
Yeah. So Port Lincoln, so where we're off to now is we're off to Streaky Bay. Original plan was to head to Palubi Beach, but Palubi's changed their rules now where you actually have to book in advance, and we didn't realise that when we were looking at travelling, and I think they introduced it late in December, so you actually have to book in advance, and yeah, we just didn't get it. So we're just going to find somewhere in Streaky Bay, probably in a caravan park or something, to spend a couple of days exploring around here. So yeah,
the weather is predicted to be windy and rainy again, so
that didn't
maybe
sound
not
like
beach weather anyway.
too much fun to go onto here. I'll just let this car go through. So yeah, that's where we are in our journey so far. So yeah, if you found this video informative, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. We're always checking out new sites and playing around with different gear and equipment. So until next time,
Bye.
see ya. So we're taking the Ranger. First bit of time on the beach. Don't know what it's capable of, do we?
No.
Okay, we'll see how we go. It's pretty soft, but
We have our own GoPros. Let's see. And if we did.
oh, we did it easy.
Easy.
Easy in sand mode.
We aren't towing. Makes a difference.
How good was that? Cameras are all up. Just put it in sand mode. A little bit tight through here, but we got like pinstripes on the car, do we? Alright, there we go. First bit of off-roading. How good was that?
Good.
Yay.
Except for the gravel bit, because there was this rocks flowing up and hitting the car.
Okay.